testimony title is Jesus came to call sinners, not the righteous. Verses Matthew 9:9 to 12. Jesus had been healing the sick, including physically and spiritually sick people, with his word. His ministry attracted more and more people. In the meanwhile, there were still people who even could not dare to think of coming to Jesus because of their social status. Today's passage is on the calling of Matthew, who was an outcast in his community. Whom did Jesus see when he passed by a tax collector's booth? He saw Matthew sitting alone in the booth while the whole town was following Jesus. Why was Matthew sitting alone? Because he was a tax collector working for the Roman Empire. He exploited Jewish people to make a decent living for himself. Therefore, he was treated like a prostitute anywhere he went. He was banned from the synagogue, marketplace, or anywhere public. When he passed by, people cursed and spat on him, calling him a sinner. What was worse, he did not get any sympathy from anyone like sick people. It seemed like he deserved what he got from people and from God. Nonetheless, it felt hurt to him. He might have avoided a financially poor life by being a tax collector, but he was totally broke in every other way. He was miserable to live a life of rejection, isolation, and homelessness. And there seemed to be no way out. When he heard Jesus coming to his own town, he thought Jesus would reject him as his town people did. So he did not go out to see Jesus. However, Jesus was coming specifically towards him and said, "Follow me." Jesus was a great teacher who got all the respect from people. On the other hand, Matthew was a sinner who got all despise from people. They seemed very opposite people, but Jesus reached out Matthew and called him to be his disciple. Upon being called to be Jesus' disciple in front of people, Matthew's heart just melted by God's great compassion and unfailing love. So he got up from the tax collector's booth and followed Jesus. As meditating on the passage, I somewhat felt like Matthew. Everyone wants approval and acceptance from people. When they do not get it, they feel unworthy and hurt. I also find that living abroad is not easy, especially because I do not feel like belonging to people here. Like, for example, my cohort in my program seem very close to each other, whereas I'm not. I feel like there is a barrier between people and me. I was praying to understand the passage one night, and out of sudden, Jesus calling, "Follow me," resonated with me. I was not following Jesus, but rather sitting at the booth, meditating on how lonely I was comparing myself with people. Jesus, knowing my thought, visited me, and called me to get up and follow him. Jesus says that I should not be traveling my own life and head out a new life of following Jesus. When the Pharisees complained about Jesus associating with the sinners, how did Jesus explain about his ministry? Verse 12. It is not the healthy who needs a doctor, but the sick. 13. But go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice, for I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners. Jesus identified himself as a spiritual doctor who healed the spiritually sick people. Doctors do not judge their patient because they are sick. They rather do their best to make their patients restore their health. That is because the sick do not get sick by their choice. Who does not want to be healthy? The sick needs compassion, not judgment. They desperately need someone who can heal their sickness because they have no power from within to fight their disease. When I was back in Korea, I judged people by their weaknesses rather than having compassion. Since I moved here, I realized that I am one of the weakest people, but I have no control over my weakness. I know what a healthy life should be. I know that I should not be controlled by how people think of me. It's not like I don't know the way I should be or try to change. I read the Bible and pray and listen to sermons by podcast every day, but I still hurt and lonely. What I need now is not another teaching, but compassion despite my weakness and healing of my sickness. I cannot heal myself. I desperately need Jesus, the only one who can fundamentally heal me. I thank Jesus for coming to call me, who is barely functional, because he has mercy on me. I thank Jesus for teaching me how vulnerable I am and letting me rely on him. I pray that I may get a true healing from Jesus. I pray that I may learn his compassion.